Hey guys, welcome to another video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about all of the makeup that I picked up in the month of March. Now, if you're not new here, if you've been here for a while, you know that I announced in January that I'm on like a low buy journey. And while I didn't put an end point to it, I did say that I wanted to try and do my low buy through the month of June and then I would revisit it. But March was an epic fail for me. So in my last update video, I did talk about makeup that I picked up in January and February, and while I did go over my budget for the low buy, I really outdid myself in March. So for the months of March and April, I'm gonna say the low buy is kaput because we know that in March and April we had Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty and then we had Sephora's VIB sale, and so March and April I went a little cray-cray. My plan is to pick up with my low buy in May and June, so I will update you in the future. But for today's video, I'm gonna share the items that are sitting in front of me that I picked up in the month of March. And if you're new to my channel, hello, welcome. My name is Kelly. I am a teacher who loves all things makeup and beauty. I love talking, I love makeup, I love talking about makeup. So if you enjoy talking about makeup, skincare, beauty, this is a great place for you. Feel free to hit that subscribe button, hang out, be part of the K-Bella fam. I do typically post 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. Sometimes I have a few extra videos in there. So if you're subscribed, then you'll be notified when I post. I will pop up in your feed. But that earring's probably gonna fall out a lot, but why don't we go ahead and jump into the video. Okay, I've mentioned before, but I lost the backs to these earrings, but I just took some from another pair so they don't fall off. Why don't we just go ahead, I think with my last video, I went in chronological order, but why don't we go ahead and get the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty out of the way. Now I'm only talking about products that I picked up in March. So there was a couple of items that I purchased at the beginning of April that still were going on during the Ulta 21 days. So those will come in April. But initially with my low buy, I didn't want to count the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty and the Sephora sale, so we'll get those out of the way. The first thing I got during the sale, I think this was the first thing that I purchased during their sale, but their MAC blushes went on sale for like half off, $11 or something. And while I didn't think that I was necessarily going to pick up any MAC blushes, I did get Melba, that's this peachy shade, and Mocha, which is this mauve shade. I did pick both of them up, so it was basically 2 for the price of 1. And really, I wanted to get Melba. I had Melba in my collection previously. I wanted to pick it up again. When I saw that the blushes were on sale, I was like, okay, I'll get Melba again to have in my collection. And Mocha has been a blush that I've kind of always eyed from MAC. I'm not a huge MAC person. Like, I'm not someone who purchased MAC in high school and continued to purchase it in my early 20s. I really have only started picking up MAC products like later, you know, since I started my YouTube channel. So I wanted to try more of their blushes. Melba was an old favorite from Jaclyn Hill that I had many moons ago. Decided to pick it up, and I thought, I'll just get Mocha while I'm here. So I got both of these for the price of 1. Let me move them off to the side. And then Fix Plus went on sale. And there were people tagging me like, hello, Kelly, Fix Plus is on sale. If you have caught any of my empties videos ever, then you know that MAC Fix Plus is probably the most repurchased item in my collection. It's the only setting spray I use. I don't necessarily use it as setting spray to lock in my makeup, but I have dry skin, so I like the hydration that it gives my skin. I like the dewiness that it gives my skin. I just feel like it's great at melting my powder products into the skin, and I go through them all the time. And then when you have 6 MAC items like that you've emptied, you can take it back to MAC and get a free lipstick. So I've done that many, many times. Picked these up, and I didn't necessarily need, again, let me put it off to the side. I didn't necessarily need any Fix Plus at the moment, but I thought if it's something that I'm going to purchase down the road anyway, why not get it on sale? So I picked up 2 of those, and while I placed that order, I do want to do a full face of, like, I guess it wouldn't be a full face, but Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics, I want to try out her products. So I wanted the face duo, I wanted a highlighter, and I wanted a lipstick, which is what she's put out already. So although this wasn't part of the sale, I did pick up one of her highlighter minis. This is in Iced, and it is the mini. I love a good mini. I haven't tried this yet, but I love a good mini, and I figured I have a ton of highlighters. I typically don't hit pan on highlighters, so a mini is the way to go. So I did pick this up as well. Like I said, it wasn't on sale, but I purchased it with my Fix Plus. Okay, so now we can kind of rewind to my very first purchase in March. We know at the end of February, Becca announced that in September of this year, they will be shutting down, and I have never tried their blushes. Their blushes have been raved about for years, but I've just never tried them. So I decided if they are going to be closing down and I'll never be able to get my hands on them, then I want to have a blush in my collection. So I did end up picking up Flower Child. It wasn't on sale or anything, but because I had never purchased from Becca's website, I did get like 20% off by signing up for their announcements using their little like newsletter thing. So I picked up Flower Child. It is quite a bit smaller than I was expecting. I don't necessarily know what I was expecting. Maybe I thought it was going to be the size of their highlight. I have the Champagne Pop highlighter, but it's smaller. It's tinier. This looks like a soft pinky blush, almost with a little bit of a gold undertone. I haven't used it yet, and to be perfectly honest, that is the perfect example of why I put myself on a low buy, because this was the first item that I purchased in March. I wanted to get it at the end of February, but because of my low buy, I waited until March 1st, and then I picked this up, and I still haven't tried it out yet. Then I went on to purchase 2 Propa Beauty lipsticks. They released some new shades. This one is Dream It. This one is in Prime Time. I do have a video swatching all of my Propa Beauty lipsticks, and if I have videos using these items, I'll list them down below. I can probably throw a few up in the cards, but I will list them down below. So I did swatch all of these, so I'm not going to swatch them here, but this one is Prime Time. And one thing to note is these lipsticks are super soft. So like my Prime Time is on a little bit of a lean, I think maybe just for me swatching it. So the back has kind of gotten scraped up in the process. But this one is Prime Time, and then Dream It is more of like a berry shade right here. So I did want to support them. I wanted to get Moxie, but Moxie was out of stock by the time I ordered. And I do have a code, it's just KBella15. You can save 15% off. Then I went on to purchase a Lisa Eldridge lipstick. These are not new. I mean like they're fairly new, but in like the makeup realm, they're not new. So I don't know what made me want to jump the gun and get one, but I did. And they are very luxurious, let me tell you. So I actually sent a message to my friend Charlotte Holdcroft, and I was like, hey, I know you've tried out the Lisa Eldridge lipsticks. Do you have a favorite? Like, which one do you really enjoy? She said she likes Velvet Muse. I have not swatched it yet, and I just can't bring myself to because it's so beautiful. I took a close-up picture for my Macro Makeup Monday. It's a little like hashtag that was created by my friend Emily. Emily Loves Makeup. And I took a close-up picture of this, so it's on my Instagram if you want to see it, but I'm just not ready. I'm not ready to swatch it, but I think it's a perfect color for me, and you have a magnetic closure. So if you're into that, you have a magnetic closure. Then during a pass grab or undecided video, I started talking about the Colourpop Limoncello palette and how I was going to pass on it. And in the middle of talking about, whoa, I guess I scratched myself. But in the middle of talking about how it was a pass, I ended up talking myself into it. And I do have a full review, a little demo. I created an eye look that I got so much love on using this palette. It was just like a kind of like a golden green eye look with that blue shade on the lower lash line. I got tons of love on it, so you can check out my review. You can see me using this palette, and in that video I talk about why I did decide to get it. But Colourpop is always having sales on their website, so they had like a 20% off, and while this palette is $18, I ended up getting it for like, what was it? I didn't write it down. I think like $13.50 or something. I went in with a girlfriend and we made a few purchases together. So I did get that on a little bit of a sale. I also made another purchase from Vive Cosmetics, or Vive Muse, whatever Jamie Genevieve is calling it, her brand, Vive over in Scotland. And I ended up making a purchase for my first haul, and I got the Pesca blush and the 90s lipstick. But after making that purchase, I immediately regretted not picking up Piazza also. Now, Piazza will definitely be a little bit of a deeper shade on me, but I feel like if I go in with a light hand, I could almost use this as like a blush bronzer in one and not really needing to go in with both. So I really wanted Piazza, and I was gonna hold off and wait until she did another release with something that I wanted. But then she released these eye wands. And while I thought I wasn't going to pick up an eye wand, I heard her talking about them, saying that they could be an eye primer as well. And I do struggle with eczema on my eyelids, so I need something that is creamy and soft that isn't going to dry my eyelids out. So I picked up the shade Vanilla. I haven't used it yet. These just got here to me, but I plan to use that as an eye primer. And my Vive collection is growing, so as I continue to get more things, I'm going to start doing like dedicated reviews. Like, I know I want to show my Charlotte Tilbury collection in a try-on style. Like I mentioned, I want to do Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics in a try-on style. I would like to do the same thing with Vive. So I don't really have too much yet, but that is something that I would like to do in the future. Then House of Sillage came out with their Disney collection. I filmed a whole video of that as well. I passed on the Quint, is that what it's called? The eyeshadow Quint, but I did pick up the Face Duo here with the blush and highlighter, and of course it comes with this super cute velvet packaging. And I did get the lipstick in the shade Playful Nude, and in that video I talked about how I think that this should maybe be called Playful Rose because it's more of a rose shade. It does have like a little vanilla scent, a sweet scent to it, but I did pick these two up. It was my first time purchasing anything from House of Sillage. Again, same thing with like the Lisa Eldridge lipstick. I don't know what made me want to purchase it. I've kind of always eyed House of Sillage. They're known for their lipstick bows, but those are super pricey. And although I love Disney, I'm not like a huge Disney fan. So I don't necessarily know what made me bite the bullet and get them, but I picked them up. I did a whole dedicated video on it. And then Samantha March released her newest collab with OFRA Cosmetics. I did purchase the PR kit, which is the Belongs To collection. It comes with the Life's a Draft eyeshadow palette and the Sam Squad lipstick minis. I did film a whole dedicated review on those as well, and I think that video was the video that went up right before this one. So definitely check out my YouTube channel, my feed, my video feed, check in the links down below. But if you're interested in my thoughts on that collection, they will be in that video as well. So you can see we're already over my budget for my low buy, and there are still a few more items that I picked up, but these were all makeup tools. And at first I thought, you know what, I'm not going to count makeup tools as part of my low buy. So I mean, I already went over, but I thought that I would share these makeup tools with you. I did purchase a BK Beauty sponge. I love makeup sponges. I've been using the Beauty Blender for years and years and years. So I decided when I realized that BK Beauty had a sponge and their sponge is only $12, I wanted to pick it up. I've been trying it out. It's nice and soft. It has a similar consistency or a similar feel to the Beauty Blender. It is almost the same size, but a little bit of a different shape where you kind of have this spot where you can like hold your hand and it is flat on the bottom. I like that this Beauty Blender or this beauty sponge is more affordable. The only thing that gets me is you have to purchase BK Beauty from their website, and I already have their eyeshadow palette. I have a ton of their brushes, so there's not really anything other than the beauty sponge that I would continue to repurchase. So that means I have to pay shipping costs and I have to pay taxes and all of that to get a $12 sponge. It's going to make it more expensive. So like if I rip my sponge, if my dog eats it, if I drop it in dirt, I can just go to Sephora and pay $20 for the beauty blender. Whereas while this sponge is only $12, I would kind of have to pay the same amount to order it online, if you know what I mean. And in that same order, I did pick up the BK Beauty 106 brush. I have been wanting to love cream products. I don't love cream products, but I want to love them because I have dry skin. So I heard my friend Britt Clark talk about BK Beauty and their 106 brush and how she likes to use this one for cream blush. I have not tried it out yet, but I want to. So I picked these two up together. And I also picked up the Refer number 4 brush. I have seen a ton of people talk about this brush and use this brush in their recent videos. So I thought this would be a nice blush brush or even contour to get it right in the hollows of the cheeks. I don't know what I'm gonna use it for yet. I mean, I could use it for both really, but I decided to pick it up because I've been wanting to get new face brushes. I really haven't purchased too many new face brushes, and the ones that I'm using are kind of old and crusty. So I picked up the Refer number 4, and then I made a purchase from Sigma. I got an email from Sigma, not like a PR email, I don't get their PR, but you know, like their newsletter emails. And it was like, was it $20 off or 20% off? I don't remember, but you were getting money off or a percentage off with the more items that you ordered. So I picked up 5 items and it would have totaled over $100, but I got them for $60 because I made a purchase of 5 brushes. So I picked up the large angled contour brush, again thinking I could use it either to contour or as like a blush brush. And then I picked up the small contour, again because I figured I could put this right, you know, on those inner parts of my cheek to blend out my contour. I do like to contour. I picked up their powder blush brush because the blush brush that I use is very large. It's by Real Techniques. This one is a little bit smaller, and I thought this would be good for like the apples of the cheeks. And then I picked up 2 of their eyeshadow brushes. These will be extras for me because I already have the tapered blending, ooh, E35. I didn't realize I got the E35. I have the E40 and I really love it, so I think I thought I was repurchasing that, but I got the E35, so maybe that's not a repurchase. However, I do also have the pencil E30 brush and I love it. I use it all the time underneath my eyes, but mine was getting a little bit worn out after having washed it and used it so many times, so I picked up another one of those. But that is going to do it for my March haul. I definitely broke my low buy. It is what it is. I still wanted to share these items with you. Like I said, you know, in April, it's already April now when you're seeing this, and the Sephora VIB sale happened. I made a purchase. I will definitely have a dedicated video showing you those purchases, but then I am still tracking my purchases in April. So in May, I'll share the items that I picked up in April that weren't part of the Sephora VIB sale. But if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let me know down below if you've tried any of these items, what you think of them. I do plan to come back. I need to do it for my January, February haul, but I do plan to come back and talk about items that I don't have dedicated videos on. I don't think I necessarily need to revisit all of the items. Like I said, I do have dedicated videos on the OFRA Samantha March collab. I do have a dedicated video on the Limoncello, on the Disney House of Sillage. So I don't feel like I need to update you on those, but down the line, I would like to share my thoughts on the other items that I picked up. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe before you go. That way I can see you in the next one. Bye.